I changed locations in my house. It's like practicing in the yoga studio where you have the tendency to always go to the same spot in the yoga room. So I decided you just move around the house. Might as well utilize the entire house. So today we'll start seated for a moment. You'll crisscross your legs like this and sit up nice and tall. Have one shin in front of the other, hands on your knees for a moment. And with nursing this neck thing that I've got going on back to health, I've really been mindful of like my posture and just awareness of how I'm moving my body. So for all of us, it's really good to just keep that in mind as we move through whatever movement we're doing throughout the day, or even how we're sitting in our car. Really important. Sit up nice and tall, let the shoulders draw down the back. Connect your hands to your knees, draw your belly in. And if this is not comfortable for some reason, you can always roll something up and sit on it so you're elevated. Close your eyes and just take 5 cycles of breath on your own. And as you breathe, sometimes you notice that it's hard to focus, like you can't close your eyes. Sometimes you can't even take full breaths. Sometimes it's uncomfortable just sitting. So wherever you are, just connect. Let the shoulders draw down the back. Sit up really tall. Let your chest kind of come forward a little without going into your lower back. Good. Blink your eyes open. Take the right hand and just tent it right next to your right thigh. Stretch the left arm straight up out of your waist, and just lengthen. Inhale the breath. Exhale, as you come over, keep your seat down. Your right arm's gonna bend a little bit as you lengthen up and over. So I'm just reaching towards my outdoor space here, but I'm not dumping into my low back. So it's a subtle side body opening. My right hand is tented on the floor and my right elbow is bent a little, so I can create a little bit more leverage and space through the left side of the body. My neck is neutral. You can look up a little, but don't drop your neck back. Lengthen a little bit more, sit down through your seat and breathe. Good, pull up to center with your left arm, tent the left fingertips, find a spot that's comfortable, slide the right arm straight up, just do that much first. Find the space to create upward and then come up and over. And you'll notice you have to kind of bend your left arm a little as you bring your right arm up and over. Kind of like how your arm would be in an extended side angle. And then just fix your eyes on something and allow your breath to flow, however that's working for you today. Sometimes the breath feels a little more sticky, sometimes it's fluid. Lengthen a little bit more, keep pressing through your seat. Pull yourself back up, lengthen the right arm up, stretch the left arm up like you're holding a block in between your hands, firm up the sides of your triceps, like really lengthen up, and then come down and lengthen the hands like you would be in a child's pose. Let your head just go if that's available. Anchor through your hands, there's a lift of your forearms, and there's a movement of your seat back. So see if you can really stretch up and forward. Up and forward, if you can, Dara, I don't know. Yeah, sometimes people have injuries. So you do what your body needs. If you need to place something underneath your forehead, you do that. Keep thinking, spreading of your lower back, upper shoulder blades, extension of your hands a little bit more forward. Draw the belly in, there's a little round in your spine. Good. To get out of the pose this morning, a little different, I just want you to rock up onto all fours. Just rock up onto all fours, tabletop position. Your hands are directly underneath your shoulders, your knees are directly underneath your hips. Curl your toes into the mat, and then go ahead and lift your hips up for your first downward facing dog. This is actually one that feels really good for me right now. Let the head go. Bend behind your knees as much as you need. There's a spreading of your toes. Good. And be mindful, like free your head. Let your head just kind of drop down. See how you all look. Yeah, perfect. Breathe your hips really high up off your shoulders. So your knees can be halfway bent, a little bit bent. If they're straight, just make sure you're not jamming into your joints. Movement of your shoulders is away from your spine. Yeah, Kristen, that looks great. Couple more breaths right here. Activate your hands, spread your toes. Good. Roll forward to plank. So as you roll forward to plank, stack your body here and drop your knees directly down so your knees aren't underneath your hips. They're slightly back. Yeah. Good. So fire up from the crown of the head all the way through the tailbone. Keep the toes curled into the mat. Plug the hands down. Feel the thumb, the index finger, the baby finger. Draw your belly and your waist up. So what's going to happen here is don't move your knees at all. Slide your right leg up and back like a three-legged dog or a warrior three, flex the foot. So the left knee is slightly back and the right leg is lifted. Only hip height. So this is requiring you to use your core strength. Now, if you can, reach your left arm forward without moving your hand in. Reach your arm and your leg in opposite directions. So your right hand feels slightly forward and your left knee feels slightly back. So this is creating a little bit more action through your core. Keep your gaze, your dristi, towards the front edge of your mat. For me, definitely my neck is neutral. My left palm is facing towards the outside space. Reach and stretch a little bit more. Hand and knee comes to the ground, but make sure your knee is not directly underneath you. It's slightly back. Good. Keep the toes curled into the mat. Extend the left leg back, just the left leg to start. So the right knee is a little further back than it would normally be. Once you get the lift of the left leg, slide your right arm forward and see if you can find your balance. You may notice it's a little bit more difficult. Reach and stretch in opposite directions. Keep your neck neutral. Keep your gaze to the front edge of the mat. Draw your belly in. There's a coiling of your ribs. Hand and knee come down. Curl the toes into the mat. Lift the hips, downward facing dog. Good. So let your head just be free, plug down. Roll forward plank again. Traditional plank. Yeah, and if you get to plank and you're like, I need to drop my knees, that's okay. But when you're in plank, you want to breathe your chest through your body without moving your chin or your head forward. Good. That's why we say the front edge of the mat is a good spot to look. It looks great, Maria. Bend your elbows in half to a chaturanga, or drop your knees if you feel like you can't support chaturanga, or just hold plank if something's going on. Good. Lead with your chest for an up dog. Slide yourself through an up dog. Activate through your hands, activate through your legs, press through the tops of the feet. And then from your hips, up and back, downward facing dog. Good. One more time, roll forward to a plank. Yeah. Bend your elbows in half. Take it slow so you can really just feel where your awareness is for today. Lead with your chest for that up dog or baby cobra. Activate and lead with that heart. And then from your hips up and back, downward facing dog. You can take as many or as little vinyasa flows, chaturangas, up dogs as your body needs. Look to the top of the mat. Take 2 big steps to get there this morning. 1, 2. Yeah. Long spine when you arrive. Feet may be together or separate. It's up to you. Hands can be on your shins. Weight is forward. Exhale, fold into yourself. Good. Root to rise. Come all the way up this morning. Anchor. Drag your hands to prayer at heart and stand up nice and tall. Feet can be together, a little separated. Just traditional sun A's as we move here. Slide the arms straight up. Just look up a little with your eyes. Dive over bent knees, forward fold. Let your head go if that's available. Come to the fingertips to prepare. Plant your palms. Take 2 big steps to get you back to a plank. Bend your elbows in half to a chaturanga dandasana. Pull yourself to an up dog. Activate your legs. From your hips up and back, downward facing dog. So I'm demonstrating how you just totally omit the chaturangas today. So I'm going to go from down dog right to up dog just to give myself a break. You take as many push-ups as you think you need. Look to the top of the mat. 2 big steps to get there. 1, 2. Long spine to prepare. Hands can be on your shins. Exhale, fold. Root to rise, come all the way up, anchor. Drag it to prayer at heart. Drop your arms. Again, connect. Stretch the arms up, look up a little. Dive in half over those bent knees. Let your head go if that's available. Come to the fingertips to prepare. Plant your palms. Step to plank. Bend your elbows in half for your chaturanga. Pull yourself through for your up dog. Good. Hips up and back, downward facing dog. Deep breath in. Full exhale, breath out. Look where you want to go. You can step. You can float at this point. Get yourself lightly to the top. Long spine to prepare. Exhale, fold. Root to rise, come all the way up. Anchor. Drag it to prayer at heart. Drop your arms. Keep going just like this. Slide the arms up. Dive in half. Let the head go. Come to the fingertips to prepare. You can step, or you can float through your chaturanga or whatever it is that you're taking in here this morning. Upward facing dog is a back bend though. Hips up and back, downward facing dog. Each one starts to get slightly better. At least we continue to tell ourselves that. Look where you want to go. Step or float to the top. Long spine on the inhale. Exhale, fold in half. Root to rise, anchor. Drag it to prayer at heart. Let your arms go. Nice, clean, steady movements. Arms reach up. Dive again in half over bent knees. Come to the fingertips to prepare. Step or float through your vinyasa. So whatever it is that you're taking. Nice. Hips up and back, downward facing. Deep breath in. Full breath out. Look where you want to go. Step or float to the top. Long spine on the inhale. Exhale, fold. Root to rise. Come all the way up. Drag it to prayer at heart. Drop your arms. One more. Slide the arms up. Dive again over bent knees. Let your head go. Come to the fingertips to prepare yourself. Step or float through your vinyasa. Breathe through your chest for the up dog. Breathe your hips up and back, downward facing dog. In your downward facing dog, roll forward to plank if that's available to you. Hug the right knee towards the navel. I'm going to do it more in a down dog today. So if you're in plank, lengthen your tailbone, draw the right knee a little closer to you and keep your arms straight up and down. Look forward with your eyes and land your right foot all the way forward and through. Drop your back knee on an angle, kind of how it was before when you were in that plank. Good. Lead your chest through your body. Back knee is on an angle. Front leg is a 90-degree angle. Slide your hands up to the front of your right knee. So just kind of create a little bit of a pressure. Your hand pressing into the top of the right knee thigh area. Slide your hand all the way back. You're going to take your right thumb and kind of hook it into the crease of your right hip. Left hand to hip. Squeeze the left shoulder blade back. Keep the chest forward. So right knee is tracking over right ankle. Right thumb is giving yourself a little manual adjustment, sliding the hip back into the socket. Slide the left arm up. Left arm reaches up really strong and broad, palm active, tricep active. Good. So from here, you may choose to stay. Keep your right hand locked into the crease of your right hip. Begin to activate from your back left hamstring and quadricep and begin to slowly anchor and engage your back left leg. Hip points stay forward. Right thumb is giving your right hip some energy. So like press down into that crease. Keep the hip points forward. Keep looking forward with your eyes. Left arm extends up more. Right arm then joins the party like you're holding a block over the top of the head. Good. Hip points forward. Belly draws in. Activation of your back left hip, thigh, hamstring, all the juicy stuff. Bend deep into the front right thigh. Look forward with your eyes. You can look slightly up. Stay with it. Scissoring of your inner and outer thighs as you sit a little deeper. Hands come down to frame your front foot. Move through a vinyasa or step to a dog. You pick. We meet in a downward facing dog. You reset your body. Once you get to your dog, roll forward to plank. Hug the left knee in. I'm doing it in a down dog with the hips higher. It's less aggressive. You're welcome to give it a whirl. If you're in plank, your arms are straight up and down, your back leg is straight, and you're drawing your right knee as close to you as possible. Your left knee, sorry, left side. Good, look forward with your eyes. See if you can land your left foot, take a big step forward. Good. Drop your back knee at an angle, come to your fingertips. Lead with your chest if possible, just keep your neck nice and neutral. Begin to slide your hands to the top of the left thigh. Give your thigh a little, give it a little energy. The thigh, back right leg is on an angle. Slide your hands all the way back. Your left thumb is gonna press into this hip crease. Your right hand's coming to your hip and you're hugging your shoulder blade down the back. Just look forward with your eyes and give this thumb hip crease some connection, some energy. Slide the right arm up. So the back right leg is on an angle. You should feel this through the hamstring, through the quadricep, through the psoas. The right arm is driving up. The left thumb is hooking in there. It's giving it a little action. And then from here, activate the back leg. And it's a slow movement to get yourself up to that low lunge. Keep pressing down with your left thumb as you drive the right arm up. If you get here and you're like, this sucks, I don't want to be here, drop your back knee and just come out of it a little. Left arm extends up. Hip points forward, coiling of your belly, drishti just forward or a little bit up. Activate your right butt cheek more, and then sit deeper into your front left thigh. Connect to your breath. Good, hands come down to frame your front foot, pause, walk the left foot to the center, spring the right foot forward to meet it. Long spine on the inhale breath, look forward with your eyes. Exhale, fold. Sit into your chair. Arms can sweep up in chair today. Mine are gonna go back. So you can try out anything that I'm demonstrating. That's the cool part about the practice. There's always new ways to kind of improvise. Drop your seat. Keep the neck long, weight is in your heels. Shoot up to stand up, drag your hands to prayer at heart, drop your arms. So here we go, we're gonna put it together, we're gonna add warrior one this time. Arms go straight up towards the sky if you can. Sit into chair. Weight is in the heels. Dive over bent knees, forward fold, let your head go. Come to the fingertips to prepare. Step through a plank to a vinyasa. Step or float back if that's where you're going. When we get to our downward facing dog, step your right foot forward, turn your back foot on an angle, and come up warrior one. If your lower back is sensitive, I'd recommend going to crescent instead of warrior one. So just something to play with. There's a scooping in of your right hip and a rotation of your left thigh and ribs to angle out your body to face the front edge of the mat. So take a couple extra breaths in the first one just to kind of settle in, see what's going on. No judgment, just a check-in. Hands to frame your front foot. You move through a vinyasa or you just step to a dog, whatever you need. Once you get to your dog, left foot lands, back foot turns, warrior one. So it's a pretty long step. Scooping up of the left hip and a rotation of your right thigh and ribs forward. Press to the outer blade of your back foot and bend deep if you can into your front thigh. These look terrific. Just settle into the feeling. Bring it back down to the floor. Plank through a vinyasa, chaturanga. Meet me in a downward facing dog. Take a deep breath in. Take a full exhale, breath out. Look where you want to go. Step or float to the top. Get there light. Long spine to prepare. Exhale, fold. Keep that weight forward. Sit into your chair pose. Yeah. Listen, if having your arms up kind of impinges the shoulder, they can be open wide. They can be back like I demonstrated before. The goal is to really sit into the chair. Good. And then shoot up to stand up with all that energy and drag it to prayer. Drop your arms. We go again because they're so great. Arms stretch up. Sit deep into chair. It's kind of the meditative part where you just kind of go with it. Dive over bent knees, forward fold. You just do what you can. Long spine prepares you. You step, you float, however you want to go back through your vinyasa today. Yeah, go for it. Upward facing dog should feel good. Hips up and back, downward facing dog. Nice. Right foot lands, back foot turns, warrior one. Bring it back down to the floor through your vinyasa. Good. Left foot lands, back foot turns when you get to your down dog, warrior one. Nice. Bring it back down to the floor, plank position to a chaturanga if you're taking it. Upward facing dog. It's not explosive energy, but it's openness. Hips up and back, downward facing dog. Take a deep breath in. Take a full breath out. Look where you want to go. Step or float to the top, nice and light. Long spine, weight stays forward. Exhale, fold. Sit again into your chair, weight is into your heels. Think thighs back and then the weight moves more into your heels. Yeah, Maria, I like that. It feels better. Shoot up to stand up. Drag it to prayer at heart. Drop your arms. Again, I know. Stretch the arms up. Sit deep chair. Dive over bent knees, forward fold. Come to the fingertips, long spine, prepare yourself. Step or float through your vinyasa. Upward facing dog. Activate your legs and press through your hands. From your hips up and back, downward facing dog. Right foot forward, back foot turns, warrior one or a variation of that. Come on up. Bring it back down to the floor to a plank. Move through a chaturanga. Upward facing. Hips up and back, downward facing. From your down dog, the left foot lands, the back foot turns, warrior one. Steady, smooth movements. Bring it back down when you're ready through your vinyasa. We meet in a down dog and you always have the opportunity to regroup. Settle into your breath. We're just gonna do one more. Look where you wanna go, step or float to the top. When you arrive, long spine on the inhale, exhale, fold. Sit deep into chair, weight is in your heels. Shoot up to stand up, drag it to prayer. Let your arms go. Last one, chair pose from the top of the mat. Weight is in your heels. Dive over bent knees, forward fold, let your head go. Come to the fingertips to prepare, step or float through your vinyasa. When you get to your downward facing dog, step your right foot forward, turn the back foot strong, warrior one. Bring it back down through a vinyasa or right to a dog. Then step the left foot forward, turn the back foot strong, warrior one. Nice smooth energy, you kind of ironed out all the kinks now. Bring it back down to the floor, plank through a chaturanga, maybe right to an up dog. Hips up and back, downward facing. Step your right foot forward, turn the back foot strong, warrior one. Again, pause in the warrior one. Sit deep into your front thigh. There's a coiling of your left ribs forward, so your whole torso is facing forward. Go ahead and bring your arms, just your arms forward. Good. So when you bring your arms forward, notice that like you kind of pull out of the front leg a little and the shoulders and everything want to go forward. So you're going to keep everything very upright. Wrap your left arm underneath your right. So if something's going on with your shoulder or this doesn't feel good, you're welcome to just give yourself a squeeze, give yourself a hug. Hands can also just be in prayer. Focus a lot on keeping your torso forward. The weight is in the standing right leg. Keep bending deep into it and then wrap your left thigh around. Step up to the top of the mat into a version of eagle. The foot can wrap around the calf if that's available. The weight is in your heel of your right foot. And you're sticking your butt back. So it's like chair with bound arms and legs. Look forward with your eyes and just settle into the feeling of the balance. Squeeze everything nice and tight down the center of the body. Lift the elbows up a little if you have the bound arms. Keep looking forward. Keep the legs squeezing very, very tight here. Just unravel your arms like you're in a chair pose. Take a giant step back to warrior one. Do your best work to get back to warrior one. If it wasn't so pretty, it's okay. Warrior one. Drop your arms like a set of airplane wings by the side body. Clasp your hands behind your back. So if having the arms pinned straight doesn't feel good, bend your elbows and rest your hands on your sacrum, kind of squeezing the shoulder blades. Keep bending deep into the front thigh or find something halfway in the middle. Exhale the breath, come down for humble warrior. My humble is going to be my stomach resting on my thigh today, but if you have more range of motion, your right shoulder can snuggle to the inside of your right thigh without your hips opening. They're forward. Grip your right hip in strong. Draw the belly in. Feel the feet press firm. Notice the right hip, it wants to wing out. So keep gripping it in and anchoring through the outer blade of your back left foot. Stay with it. Press strong through your feet, lift your torso, and extend your arms out and up. Warrior one. Bring it to the floor, move through your vinyasa, or just step to a dog. Step your left foot forward, turn your back foot strong, come on up, warrior one on the left side. Focus on the front leg, whole right side of the body, moving forward. Bring your arms straight forward. Yeah, like you're handing someone something. There's an activation of your triceps and a zipping up of your core so you're not dumping into your low back. Wrap your right arm underneath your left, or by all means, just give yourself a big hug. Hands to prayer is fine. Put a lot of attention to your front left leg. Sit deep into it, and then see if you can slowly maneuver your right leg up and around into eagle. Sometimes it works great. Sometimes it's a hot mess. Iron out the weight distribution. It should be in your heel. Your gaze is looking forward, and you're sitting like you're in a deep chair. And then you collect yourself, and you just breathe. Stay with the feeling, stay with the breath, keep your focus. Stay very strong in your legs and just unravel your arms to a position that is comfortable. Stay low in your front left leg and slide the right leg back, warrior one. Yes, it's a big step back, warrior one. Drop your arms by your side body. This could be where they stay. You can clasp them, opposite grip, find what's comfortable. Straight arms, bent a little, bent a lot. Inhale the breath, coil the right ribs forward. Exhale, come forward, humble warrior. The goal in humble is to keep your hips squared, right. Gripping of your right hip in strong and nice and long through your ribs and your side body. If you can get in there, that's great. Your left shoulder will snuggle in, but everybody's a little different. Press firm through your back leg. All the muscles around your right kneecap, grip them. Stay with it, 2 more breaths. Press strong through your legs, bring your torso up, unravel your arms, warrior one. Bring it to the floor, to a plank. Bend your elbows in half to a chaturanga. Pull yourself through a nice smooth up dog. From your hips, up and back, downward facing dog. Take a deep breath in. Take a full cleansing breath out.
Look where you want to go. Step or float to the top. Long spine when you arrive. Exhale, fold. Sit into chair. Weight moves into your heels. Drag your hands to a prayer. Inhale your breath. Hook the elbow and twist to the right. Yeah. So if something's going on in your body and it doesn't feel good to hook, you can stay up very high and just twist, keeping the shape of the lower half of your body. We're in chair with a twist, yes. I see everyone's happy, smiling faces in chair with a twist, yes. Seat back, weight and heels. Watch the left knee, Maria, that it doesn't slide forward. I know it's a sneaky little thing. It's sneaky, it's a sneaky sucker. Pull around to chair, stay in your legs, guys, stay in your legs. Shoot up to stand, drag your hands to prayer. Everyone looks like they're having really a lot of fun in the chair twist today. Reset one more time today, chair pose. Chair pose with excitement. Yes, drag your hands to a prayer. Inhale your breath, take it to the left. So if something's going on, like my body doesn't feel great in a chair with a twist, I could stay like this today, up really high. I'm still in my legs. I'm still creating a little twist through the thoracic. I'm just not going as deep, and that's fine. Learning how to modify these poses is the advanced practice. Backing out of the poses is the advanced practice. It's not always going all the way. Watch the right knee, it doesn't slide past the left. Keep moving the weight into your heels. Stay with your breath, ground down a little more. Good, stay strong in your legs, pull around to chair. Shoot up to stand up, hands to prayer at heart, stand tall. Drop your arms by your side body, and what I recommend here is to split your feet apart about hips width distance. Have some blocks at the top of the mat as you may need them, okay? Left hand's gonna come to your hip. You're gonna squeeze your shoulder blade back. So you're gonna have your hand on your hip, squeeze the shoulder blade back. Draw the right arm up towards the sky and reach really high through the right arm. Just pause here. Just do this much. Half the battle in these poses is just awareness of your body, your muscles, and your breath. All the weight is going to stay on the right leg, and you're going to continuously reach up with your right arm. As you begin to move the weight to the right leg, the left foot lifts just an inch. Hand is still on your hips, shoulder blade still squeezing down the back. My weight's on my right leg, contract the thigh, and the left foot is just hovering the floor. From here, I'm going to begin to tip very slowly through a warrior three. Soften behind the right knee, keep reaching forward, and then slide the right hand down to the ground as I begin to open into a half moon from here. Left hand can stay on your hip. The block is over to the right just enough that you can find that proper alignment. Left leg is lifted, hip height. I'm going to keep my left hand on my hip today. You can also slide alongside the body, or you can extend the arm up. Another great option is I'm leaning near a wall here. If I'd like, I could go to the wall and lean my whole body against it for Ardha Chandrasana. The right foot is forward, the hip is hugging in. And because my neck doesn't feel great, I'm going to keep my drishti down. But if your neck feels great, you can look up. So the side ribs open, flexion of your top foot. Stay with this, few more breaths. If you fall, come back and join us. Awareness is on that front foot, that right hip, the right quadricep. Keep it forward. Take a giant step back to warrior two. And it may or may not be a pretty step back, but see if you can make it as graceful as possible. As you get back, bring your hands to your hips for a second. Yeah, squeeze the shoulder blades down the back and just have your torso very upright. Wrap your right thigh open. Keep your right foot forward and your back toes, as you know, have a little pitch to them. Then open up your arms if that's, available. Palms can face open. Palms can face you. Hands can stay on hips as well. Lengthen the tailbone down and sit deep into warrior two. Close your eyes and breathe. There's a spreading of your upper torso and an amazing opening of your hips, activation of your core. It's really a brilliant posture. As long as you can find steadiness in it, you can capture what you need. Soften your shoulders a little and hang on here wherever you are. 3 more breaths. Keep the space you've created, okay? You're doing great. Bend deep into your right leg. You can reach out and rest your right arm on your thigh for today's practice, or the hand can come down to the outside of the foot. I'm going for a block. I'm actually going to set up 2 blocks and go really high. Yeah. Make a connection with the outside of the right leg and the inside of the right arm. Left arm's going to stretch straight up, or it can come up and forward. Gripping of your right hip in, turning of your bottom ribs, and a strong activation of your left leg. Stay with this. Yeah, that right hip wants to wing out. Yeah, 3 more breaths. You're doing great. I know there's a sensation, an intense burning feeling. That's what we're going for here. Breathe through the sensation. It will go away. Look to the floor. Circle the hands down to frame your front foot. Yeah. So as you frame out your front foot, pivot the left heel. You're going to lean on your left hand for a Shavasana side plank. So what you can do is drop your knee today, and you can modify here. This is a great modification. Or you can go into more of the traditional side plank. Yeah. That looks great, Reggie. Yeah, just make sure your right fingers are like an inch in front of the shoulder, and then you're right in your sweet spot. Nice, Dara. Lift your bottom hips. Nice, Maria. Stack the 2 shoulders, stack the 2 hips, and spread your toes wide. Wherever you've chosen to be, don't beat yourself up. Like, I should be doing more, I should be doing less. You're just right where you need to be. Look down, plank. Move through a vinyasa if that feels good. Drag yourself through an up dog if that feels good. From your hips, up and back, downward facing dog. Exhale all the breath out. Look where you want to go, step or float to the top. Get there light and safe. Long spine on the inhale. Exhale, fold before you come up. Just have your blocks at the top of the mat. Bring your hands to your hips and pull yourself up. Good. So stand up with your feet split apart. I just find it much easier. Your right hand is going to come to your hip. You're going to hug the shoulder blade down the back, and then your left arm is going to extend up. That's all you're doing to start. Draw your belly in. There's a coiling of your ribs. This is an active pose. You're not just here and you're, hanging out. It's active. Lengthen up and move the weight now onto your left leg. Contract the left thigh and just lift the right foot like an inch. So your whole body doesn't need to move, just an inch, and you're hovering your right foot. This is actually a great exercise to do with the youth of America on their balance. Keep squeezing the right shoulder blade down the back. Now, with the left arm extending up, keep your eyes fixed. Start to bend a little into your left leg and start to pivot forward, kind of like you're going to warrior 3. Your whole body is straight. And then start to open very slowly into half moon. Very slowly into half moon. You get to your half moon, grip your left hip in strong. Keep your right hand on your right hip. It can rest alongside the body, or it could slide up. Your gaze can be down, it could be sideways, or it could be straight up. And when you fall out of the pose, that's actually a good sign, right? This is a good place to experiment and kind of test your body and your balance and your breath and its limitations. Stay with it. A couple more. Focus strongly on your left leg. Keep it forward. Take a giant step back, warrior 2, and see if you can make it as graceful as possible. That's not always possible. Warrior 2. Yep. Keep your hands on your hips for a moment. Squeeze your shoulder blades together and make sure your torso is straight up and down so there's no movement forward or back. Wrap your inner thigh open and make sure your right toes have a strong turn to them. Squeeze the shoulder blades. Then decide where you want your arms to hold for the next few breaths. They can stay here. They can open up. They can face up. They can clasp behind your back. There's so many variations here. Find something that you can hold, that you can maintain, and then breathe. And notice as you hold, what are you starting to hold on to? We all hold on to stuff, right? So maybe reach back a little more with your back arm. Maybe let go of such an intent breath or such an intent focus on the feeling. Wrap your inner thigh open. Stay with the legs really strong and start to move slowly into your extended side angle. Arm can rest on the front thigh. You can go to the outside of the foot. Like I demonstrated before, I went really high with my block to kind of create leverage for myself today. The arm can go straight up. It can wrap up and forward. Movement of your ribs, you're turning them. Your hip is gripping in. Keep the connection with the outside of the leg and the inside of the arm. Yeah. Grip your left hip in strong. Fix your eyes and breathe. You got this. 2 more. Look to the floor. You're like, yes, I can go to the floor. Circle the hands down. Yeah, lean onto your right hand, Shavasana side plank. I am human. I experience all the same sensations in my practice as you all do. Right knee can drop. I'll show you this great variation. So your knee is down and your fingertips are down, and then you could just support like this. This is a great side body opener. It's a great way to create strength. Traditional side plank is available to you. Shavasana. Nice, Maria. So to add a level of challenge, you could just lift your top foot an inch or two. Yeah. Or you can move it into a tree. Top arm can wrap forward as well. Two more. You got this. Really nice work, everybody. Look to the floor, plank position. When you get to plank, lower your knees, your chest, and your chin. Sliver forward onto your belly. Okay, you're gonna take your arms like this, belly down, and your forehead to rest, like a little cushion. So just pick a form on top of form, making kind of a box with your arms, and then bring your forehead to your arms. Make a connection there. Inhale the breath, separate your feet so they're hips width distance. Let the legs go really strong and long like you're in an up dog. And then keeping the forehead and the arms connected, just lift your upper torso. Mine's only gonna lift about an inch. But if you have more range of motion, lift higher. Activate the legs, keep the neck neutral, and press your forehead into your forearms. Lift up higher. Exhale the breath, let it go. Switch the arms. So we always have a favorite side. Make a connection here, make a little cushion. Activate your legs, take a giant breath in. On the exhale breath, let's lift. So my forehead and my forehead are making this connection. Lift a little higher. Exhale the breath, let it go. Slide your hands back and press yourself up into an up dog. Upward facing dog. Hips up and back. Downward facing dog. Stay with me here. Step your right foot forward. Step your back foot in. Bring your hands to your hips and pull yourself up. So just like a short kind of warrior one. Yeah, hip points are forward. Right hand on your hip this time. Left arm extends up. Inhale the breath, find extension. Come halfway down. As soon as I come halfway, I bend my right leg a little, activate the back leg, and then the left hand's gonna come down to the instep of the foot for twisting triangle. See how you're all doing. Yeah. Yeah, your palm can stay on the flat part of your back. It's kind of like your GPS, like telling you where your hips are. Yeah, the strength of the back leg is actually the power of the pose. And then with the strength of the legs, the hips move back, and then you create the dimension of the twist. If you can look up, that's great. If you got to look sideways or down, that's fine. Stay with it. 2 more. Good. Look down, place both hands to frame your front foot. And all I need you to do is widen your stance. So you're in this low lunge. Bend deep into the front thigh, activate the back leg, and then come on up. One more time today. Bring your hands to prayer. Inhale the breath, hook the elbow, and now you're going to take your twist. Hook the elbow in and twist. So for those that are suffering with any injuries, staying upright and taking a micro twist is a great alternative, and really focusing on the strength of the lower half of the body. Sometimes hooking in and wrapping doesn't feel great on the shoulders or the upper torso. Another alternative is to place the hand down on the instep of the foot and just take an easy twist. You can always drop the back knee down as well. 5 breaths. Grip the hips in strong and twist open. Look down, take both hands to frame the front foot, drop the back knee on an angle, keep the toes curled into the mat. Good. Slide the hands up the knee. This is how we started the practice. Yep. Slide the hands up the knee. So the right arm's going to reach back, and you're going to go ahead and see if you can get hold of the foot, but I want you to do this really upright today, and the left hand on your hip. The left arm's going to extend up. So it's going to look like this today if this is not an option. Then you can drop down. You can drop the hand down, and it could be like this. This to me right now feels really good just to be upright. Flex the foot. So it's in kind of an upright version of a full pigeon. The goal is to keep steering your right hip, hugging it in, and your left ribs forward. If grabbing the foot doesn't feel good, you can just stay like this, just reach back. 3 more. Yeah. Nice. Maria, slide the arm that's down forward like 2 more inches. Yeah, bring it forward. Yep, keep going, keep going, keep going. There you go. Now fire up the side of that tricep and just look to the right. Don't look all the way back. Good. Look to the floor wherever you are. Hands down. Step through a down dog. Move through a vinyasa if that feels good. Exhale the breath out. Just reset. One more time today. Step your left foot forward. Yeah, step your back foot in enough that it's a shorter stance. Bring your hands to your hips and pull yourself up. So just set up here. Left hand wraps in, right arm extends up. Hip points are forward, back leg is strong. Inhale the breath, soften behind the left knee, come halfway down, and then come the rest of the way down into your version of twisting triangle. Hand could be on the flat part of the back. Good move. Yeah, the block is really helpful in this posture. The other option is to have your hand on your shin, and that's going to create the dimension of really using your leg strength. It could just be the angle of the camera there, but drag your block like 2 inches closer to you. I just want to see if that brings your shoulder into better alignment. It did. Yeah. Hips moving back, steer them back, waist moving forward, and then peel open. Stay with it. On the next sharp exhale breath, eyes go to the floor, hands come down, widen your stance. Just drag your right foot back. You may need to walk your left foot to the left a little. Integrate the legs and come up one last time, crescent lunge. Slide the hands to prayer. Inhale the breath, keep the lift of the torso, and then begin your twist. So if you're hooking in, that's great. I'm demonstrating a variation for the wounded warriors. Yes. Grip the hips in strong. If you're getting into the full twist, hook the elbow in there, maybe even open up your arms. Activate your legs, scissor in. Easy twist is always an option. Keep bending deep into your front thigh. Just about when you're ready to give up, breathe a little bit more intently and see if you can muster up a drop more strength to hang on. Exhale the breath, take both hands to the floor. Drop the back knee on an angle, bring the torso up, just do this much. Good, so keep your right arm up if you can. Slide your hand to your hip, let's do it this way. Reach your left arm back. So this could be where you are, it's kind of like this backwards L. Bend the leg up and see if you can grab the foot. If being upright does not feel great or kind of draws your knee in towards the floor, you can slide this hand forward and just do it like this. So the right hand is down, Reg, and the left arm is reaching back. And then if you can bend that right leg back and get hold of it with the left ankle, that's where we're going. I'm gonna work on staying upright, gripping the hips in, and steering the ribs forward. Yeah, it's a version of full pigeon. Kristen, that looks awesome. If you can't get hold of your foot, you don't grab it, you just reach back for it. And rather than looking all the way back, guys, look sideways. Yeah, because I find the spine rounds. 2 more breaths wherever you're at. And if you didn't get it, you didn't get it. It's not the end of the world. Let it all go. Bring your hands down. Step through a vinyasa. Just clear it out. Up dog should feel great. Hips up and back, downward facing dog. Look in between your hands, hop your feet all the way through and lay down on your back. Yay, lay down, lay all the way down. Just a drop of isometric core. I'm gonna take you into 2 back bends and hasta la vista, okay? We're gonna lay down, extend the legs straight up towards the sky. So it looks like this, and reach your arms straight forward. Now, really important, especially if the neck is sensitive, you don't wanna drive the neck forward. You wanna keep the neck neutral. So you can even slide a block underneath your head if you feel like you need that reminder to keep you right, aligned. So drive your arms forward. So there's still this scooping out of your belly and a strong flex of your feet, and your legs are straight up and down. Your arms are just reaching forward and they're active. Now, keeping the shape of your body, reach your arms straight up, straight towards the ceiling, not towards the toes. There's a difference. Good. Draw in and then see if you can lift your shoulder blades higher up off the floor. Scoop out the belly more. If you have the availability to let the arms start to drift back, they can go straight back just a little bit. They can go all the way back towards the back edge of the mat if you have that range of motion. If not, just hold. Last 5. Lift a little higher, scoop out the belly a little bit more. For 4, stay engaged, legs straight up and down wherever you've chosen to be with an arm variation. For 3, lift up higher. For 2, and 1, release. Give your knees a squeeze. Take your feet flat to the floor. Fingertips skim the backs of your heels. Lift your tailbone up. Interlace your hands underneath your lower back for bridge. If you automatically opt for the block, take one version of this without the block. Interlace the hands, scoop up the shoulder blades, and lift the tailbone up. There's a rolling in of your thighs. Your feet are forward. Yeah, you can even robot your arms, which means press the triceps down and keep the hands like you're holding a block. Now keep all that. If you want to move on and go into a full wheel, that's wonderful. Flip the palms, bring the chin to the chest, and bring yourself up safely. If you're opting to kind of stay, but going for more cushy, slide a block underneath your tailbone, any level that works, but keep that lift, keep that back bend. The block is secure underneath the lower back and the hands can be clasped around it. Yeah, keep wrapping the thighs under. Anchor through the feet and lift the tailbone towards the back of the knees. Exhale the breath, lower down. When you lower your tailbone to the floor, move the block out of the way. Let your feet go to the width of the mat and just let your knees knock in. Yeah, just let them knock in. Reach for the outer blades of your feet and pull your knees around your ribs for a happy baby. Yeah. Spread your lower back and your upper shoulder blades to the ground. One more thing, and then I'm going to let you go to Shavasana. From your happy baby, if you have a block, slide it the long ways in between your thighs. Lift your hips to the left about an inch, and holding the block in between your thighs, drop your knees together to the right. Use your right hand to rest on the left thigh, and take this very gentle supine twist. Left shoulder blade down. Come up through center. Keep squeezing the block. Move the hips to the right about an inch or two, and then drop your knees to the left. Use your left hand, just encourage that thigh down a little, and then right shoulder blade to the floor. Good. Come up through center. Give your knees a squeeze. And you're going to set up here for Shavasana, complete rest. So we didn't have time for any inversions. So an alternative to Shavasana today, if you would like to take your Shavasana with legs up the wall, if you're near a wall, it's kind of a great option. If you're like, oh, there's always tomorrow or next time, there's always tomorrow or next time. Just drop down into Shavasana and just let it all dump to the floor and completely rest. Next minute or so, complete silence. Take a deep breath in. Take a full breath out. If you have more time, you're welcome to just ignore me and stay. But if you have to re-enter, bring your arms slowly up over the top of the head. Squeeze the knees slowly in towards the chest. And then use the strength of your body to bring yourself up when you are ready and if you are ready.
As you come up to a seated position, just check in. So this is how we started the practice an hour ago. You should feel a hell of a lot more grounded, more open, more complete, ready to take on whatever comes our way. Seriously. Draw the hands to a prayer. Have gratitude always. Be grateful you're able to move. Take the time. Bow your head. Lift your head. Open your eyes. Namaste. As always, it's a pleasure spending this time with you guys. Awesome practice. I'm not teaching Saturday because I'm traveling. So stay tuned. I'll send out the links for the following week.